So today's video is going to be on 4.3. I'm talking about a slope and how to find it from 2 points. There's a formula that we have. And the formula which we have is m. M stands for slope. So this is important because the order matters. So you have y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. You have to make sure that your 2's are first and your 1's are second, or you're going to get the wrong answer. Now, usually when you see a question like this, you're given a pair of points. Let's just take this one. All right. So we're given a pair of points like this. And let me, so x1 is right here. Y1 is right next to it. So that's something that people get confused. It's not x1, x2, it's x1, y1. x2, y2. So by doing the formula this way, you'll get it right every time. So let's look at it this way. So this is 1, right, and this is 2. Then this is going to be 3. Oops, 3. Minus a minus negative 2. 7. Oh man, I'm having a day. 7 minus 5. So we get, at the top here, this becomes an addition problem. 5 over 2. And that's our slope. That will be what goes next to x in our y equals equation. Then you'll have sum plus b. But that's how you would determine it. Let's go over another pair of points and discuss how to do this. What if so again, let's rewrite this formula so that you can get it again. It's pretty simple. Oops. Again, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm not really going to talk about where the formula came from, but more just how we got it. Or not how we got it, but more just how to use it, because that's more important than where it came from. So we're given a pair of points that looks like this. All right. So the first thing to do is to determine which ones are x1, are x2, y1, y2. As soon as we determine that, those are going to be how we're going to use them for the rest of it. Whichever point you decide, second, like this one is first, we could do the same thing, and we could say they will produce the same answers. If we called this 1 and 2, so long as we used our 1 and 2 correctly. It doesn't matter which point you call 1 or which point you call 2. It just matters that whichever one you call 1 and 2, you use the same x from. So like this one would be 3 minus 1 over 2 minus 3. And this one would be 1 minus 3 over 3 minus 2. Which equals 2 over negative 1. And this one equals negative 2 over 1. So you see they're the same, they produce the same. So it doesn't matter what point you use. If you don't use the first one is the second or the second one is the first, it doesn't matter. So long as you make sure that you have your y1 and with your x1 and your x2 with your y2 so that you can keep track of those. This does not equal 3 minus 3 over 2 minus 1. If we did it that way, it would screw up and we get 0 over 1, and that is not the same as that. So you have to make sure to follow this order every time. Follow the order that you've got there going on. And if you follow it, you will get the answer. So again, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Again, this would give you a slope that would go into your y equals mx plus b. If you'll remember, this is their slope, so that's what we're looking for. This is your x value, and then this is your intercept value. That's why it's called slope-intercept form. So let's talk about taking this from the beginning, just a pair of 2 points, and producing a line. So if we have a pair of 2 points, and we want to produce a line. Let's say let's use our same points that I made up. Alright, so we're going to use these points to produce a line. Remember, we have to find the slope first, so that's 3 minus 1, y2 minus y1, and then, minus y1, and then x1, or x2 minus x1, and we get 2 over negative 1, which gives us negative 2. Oh, so we know our m is negative 2. So we want to plug this into our equation. But we still don't know what b is. So in order to solve for b, we take one of these points and plug it in. So we say 3 over 1. Let's take that point. So our y is 1. Our x is 3, so we plug that in. Now we're going to solve for b. So this becomes 1 equals negative 6 plus 6. B equals 7. Therefore, our final form is y equals negative 2x plus 7. And that form will give you that line that crosses those 2 points. So that is the use of the slope equation. The most important thing is when you're given 2 points, make sure to keep them in order. Whichever one you designate as 2, always keep it as 2. Whichever one you designate as 1, always keep it as 1. That way you can keep track of it. It doesn't matter once you get to this point which one you plug in, you will produce the same answer. So it doesn't matter that much. Yeah, it'll produce the same answer as the other one. So you just got to make sure you have just your 1 and 2, and then if you get that correct, you'll get your slope correct, and that's the big thing in this video is get your slope correct.